Activities Association basketball is on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com tonight from Fort Morgan High School. Well, this afternoon and then later tonight from Fort Morgan High School. It's a Morgan County basketball doubleheader as the Fort Morgan Mustangs entertain the Brush Bead Diggers. I'm John Beltran. We'll have the girls game first and then the boys game coming up here momentarily at about 5 o'clock. Bead Diggers starting lineup brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. Locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush available 24/7 for your banking needs. They go with Sydney Odell, a junior, along with senior Molly Link, a senior Maddie Kerr, Maddie Rule, and Allie Keller. And they are juniors. As for the Mustangs starting lineup, that is brought to you by Cargill, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at Cargill.com. And they go with the following five. Kelsey Shaver, a starter for Fort Morgan, a junior forward, along with Hallie Shaver, a junior guard, Haley Lewis, a junior forward, Riley and another junior and senior guard, Abby Mussman. The opening tip is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Calling Meyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. It'll be Haley Lewis jumping center for Fort Morgan. And for the Bead Diggers, Maddie Rule. Fort Morgan in their home whites, the Bead Diggers in their road maroons. The tip is controlled by the Mustangs. Here is Hallie Shaver on the left baseline, guarded by Rule, puts up a wild shot and misses. Ball is tipped around, and it's loose, and it's still on the floor, and it's out of bounds off Kendall Elliott. That should stay with Fort Morgan, and it does. And to throw it in will be Shaver. The Bead Diggers go into the game with a 5-1 record, and Fort Morgan's at 2-4, losing last night to Sidney, Nebraska, while the Bead Diggers defeated Weld Central 49-37. Shaver looking in the right corner for Bauman. Bauman swings it back out to Mussman. Mussman hands it off to Shaver. On the outside left with the basketball is Kelsey Shaver. Left baseline to Bauman, back to Kelsey. And we've got a traveling violation on Shaver. Now, the Bead Diggers have won 14 meetings in a row in this series. The last time Fort Morgan won was November 30th of 2007. And that was right here in Fort Morgan when Harrison Chisholm was the head basketball coach. Kendall Elliott on the high left with the basketball. Bounce pass near the top to Odell. Odell maintains the dribble to her right, picks up the dribble. Swings it right side, a low pass to Allie Keller. Keller, the junior, at the top of the three-point circle, maintains the dribble. Picks up the dribble, looking, spinning. Swings it cross-court, bounce pass to Odell. Bead Diggers being very patient. Here is Maddie Rule on the high right. Rule dribbles into the lane, kicks it back out to Elliott straight away, and Elliott traveled. And you got to get rid of the basketball. If you're not a high post player, and Elliott is not, she's a low post player, you just get rid of the basketball. She shuffled her feet. And so far, a sloppy start. Both teams have committed a turnover in the first minute. Neither team has scored. And to throw it in will be Mussman, three-quarters court. Mussman to Kelsey Shaver. Shaver back to Hallie. Hallie, front court pass now over to Mussman. Mussman on the outside left, guarded by Odell. Spinning on Odell, picks up the dribble. Looking, still looking, kicks it back out to Hallie Shaver. Lacking rhythm to begin the game are both sides, really. The outside right, Kelsey Shaver with the basketball. Guarded over there by Keller. Swings it. Right side here to Mussman. She puts up a shot off the glass and misses, but there was a tie-up situation. Nice job by the Bead Diggers, and Maddie Rule got a hand in there. Possession arrow is pointing in Brush's direction. Still no score, a minute and a half into the game, and the first of 2 from Fort Morgan High School. Allie Keller the other way for Brush. Allie Keller on the outside left against Kelsey Shaver. Lobs it down low for Rule. She banks and scores, and Maddie Rule has the first points of the game. And the Bead Diggers lead 2-0. Backcourt pressure being applied, and nearly a tie up there. The ball is loosened. There's a foul on the Bead Diggers in the backcourt. That's the first foul of the game. And that is committed over there by Maddie Rule. She's got to be careful. Don't want to foul that early if you're a Bead Digger. We know that head coach Kalen Hollander likes to rotate lots of players. In the backcourt, Bauman with the basketball, looking. Back out to Moosman, and Mussman crosses midcourt. Here is Hallie Shaver just across the timeline. Swings it right side to Kelsey Shaver. Well behind the three-point line, guarded by Rule. Looking right side for Mussman, doesn't find her. Dribbles to her left, and Fort Morgan's very deliberate on offense. There's some movement there without the basketball. Moosman on the outside right, guarded by Odell. Picks up the dribble. Overhead pass. Here is a three by Shaver, and that's going to be short, missed by Hallie. And then Riley Bauman has the shot blocked. She gets it right back, though. Trapped in the lane, and then she's fouled. The Bead Diggers commit their second foul. And that foul was committed by Kendall Elliott. Fort Morgan basketball. On the offensive side underneath the basket, Hallie Shaver to throw it in. Left corner bounce pass to Moosman, left of the lane. Jump pass down low, and Lewis banks and scores. Haley Lewis to the right of the basket. Has deadlocked the game at 2. 5:24 to go, first quarter from Fort Morgan. Maddie Rule at the top, gets a pick from Allie Keller on the outside left, dribbles left baseline, all the way, scoops it up, around and in with the right hand. Maddie Rule with a strong move to the basket. The Bead Diggers lead 4-2. Again, the press being applied. Mussman will dribble across the timeline. Odell right behind her trying to catch up. Lobs it for Lewis left baseline. She puts it up and she's fouled as she misses. And Molly Link got her across the wrist. It'll be 2 free throws for Haley Lewis. Bank of Colorado is proud to support local sports and academics. There's only one Colorado and one bank dedicated to help you make the most of living here. We're just not a bank in Colorado. We're Bank of Colorado, member FDIC. And the free throw's off to the left. So the Bead Diggers with a 4-2 lead, 5:03 to go, first quarter. Second free throw for the junior Haley Lewis. And that is up, and that is off to the right and off the back of the rim. And it's rebounded by Maddie Rule. Rule with her first board. Into the front court to Keller. Keller towards the top, looking to her right, maintains the dribble. Keller had the ball poked out of bounds by Mussman. Bead Diggers retain possession, 3 quarters. Court Keller to throw it in, or check that. Instead, it'll be Maddie Rule. Rule with 4:52 to go in the first. Over to Maddie Kerr just into the game. Kerr, a very good athlete, dribbles left of the lane, picks up the dribble, looking, has to spin it back out to Aurora Thomas into the game. Thomas dribbles right of the lane, right corner, 3 in the air, good, and that is Maddie Rule drilling the 3. It's Maddie Rule 7 and Fort Morgan 2. In the backcourt, nearly a steal by Keller. Kelsey Shaver has it to Hallie Shaver. Front court pass to Mussman. Here is Mussman in the lane. Left baseline, Bauman, 15-footers, an air ball. Haley Lewis banks and scores. Haley Lewis with a rebound. Easy for me to say, 7-4 in favor of the Bead Diggers. Keller the other way. Swings it over to Thomas. Thomas at the top of the basketball. Thomas right into the lane. Swings it outside right to Maddie Rule. Rule back out to Thomas. Thomas on the outside left to Kerr. 7-4 brush. 4 minutes to go first quarter. A whistle and a foul. That's the first Fort Morgan foul of the game. And I believe that was Abby Mussman. Nope, check that. It was Hallie Shaver instead. And the Mustangs are going to have to figure out how to stop Maddie Rule. Allie Keller is out. And Haley Unrein is into the game. Again, heavy rotation for these Bead Diggers. And now Maddie Griffith is into the game for the Mustangs. It's thrown into Kerr. Kerr with a basketball for Brush at the top. Dribbles to her right. Kerr back out to Unrein. Unrein to her left, feeds Thomas straight away. Thomas with the basketball into the lane and puts up a shot off the glass and around, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Abby Mussman of Fort Morgan. Mussman into the front court. Swings it left side over to Griffith. Griffith towards the top, guarded by Kerr. Bounce pass right side, wide open. Shaver's shot is off the back of the rim from 16. Lewis banks and misses off the rebound. And then we get a whistle and a foul. Haley Lewis had a good look, and it's going the other way as the Mustang went over the back. And let's see who the foul is on. And that foul is going to be on Kelsey Shaver, her first. And here is Sydney Odell back into the game. It's Link Unrein, Thomas Odell, and Maddie Rule. Heavy rotation again for the Bead Diggers. We played just past the midway point of the opening quarter. Here is Rule at the top. Swings it right side for Unrein. Unrein bounce pass right baseline to Link. She dribbles, goes all the way, banks and misses. And the ball is loose, and it's into the hands of Abby Mussman of Fort Morgan, her second rebound. Mussman with 3:10 to go. Front court pass to Kelsey Shaver. Hands it off to Griffith. Griffith at the top. On the outside left to Shaver. Guarded by Unrein behind the three-point line. Top of the three-point circle. Griffith inside the three. Misses it. Hit nothing but glass. And Maddie Rule picks up the basketball for the Beediggers off the rebound. Roll the other way across the timeline. Left-handed dribble. Crossing over on Shaver. On the outside right to Thomas. Thomas dribbles towards the right corner. Jump pass down low for Odell. Feeds Link. Little 7-footers off the back of the rim straight away. Abby Mussman has another rebound, her third. Mussman with 2.5 to go in the first. Brush 7, Fort Morgan 4. Over to Griffith. Griffith against Thomas. Swings it left side to Shaver, guarded by Unrein. Dribbling left baseline with Link to beat. She banks and misses badly. And Maddie Rule grabs her third rebound. And the Beediggers come the other way with Maddie Rule. Right side to Odell. Odell, right corner, Thomas, wide open three is around and good for Aurora Thomas. And the Beediggers now lead by a score of 10-4. Timeout for the Mustangs with 2:08 to go in the opening quarter, as Thomas is one of the better outside shooters, if not the best, that the Beediggers have. And that timeout brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car truck of your choice, serving all of Northeast Colorado. Ehrlich Toyota East. Maddie Rule is outscoring Fort Morgan all by herself with 7 points, as the Mustangs lead 10-4. The Beediggers lead 10-4, I should say. Rush is going for their 6th victory of the year, and Fort Morgan trying to improve to 3-4. And again, they've lost 14 consecutive games in this series. Keller, Link, Thomas, Unrein, and Odell for Brush. It is Hallie Shaver, now with a substitution, Autumn Wheatley into the game. Haley Lewis, the inbounds passer, Maddie Griffith. And I think we had a second substitution here. That's Kelsey Callis in for Fort Morgan. Griffith underneath her own basket. Swings it over to Wheatley. Wheatley still in the backcourt. Over to Griffith. Nearly fouled it midcourt by Unrein. Bounce pass inside. Goes off a couple of players out of bounds. It was off a Beedigger. Fort Morgan retains possession under 2 minutes to go. Maddie Kerr is out. Or in, I should say. And out is Haley Unrein. And to throw it in will be Hallie Shaver. To the left of the basket. Bounce pass right base onto Lewis all the way. Scoops and misses off the bottom of the rim. Then she tips the ball out of bounds. It'll be Fort Morgan basketball, and Haley Lewis has to have a big game for Fort Morgan to have any chance here. She is their best player statistically. Here's Allie Keller the other way for the Beediggers at the top. Keller back on the outside right to Thomas. Thomas left-handed dribble at the top of the three-point circle, right side to Odell. Odell on the high right, looking down low, swings it cross-court to Keller. Keller penetrates left baseline, spins, hooks in the lane, around, and scores! What a shot there by Allie Keller. And the Beediggers lead by 8 at 12-4. Backcourt pressure being applied. Keller scores for the first time in the game. Into the front court is Lewis at the free throw line. Jump pass down low for Callis. Banks and scores. Kelsey Callis gives the Mustangs a bucket. It's 12-6. The Beediggers come the other way. Maddie Kerr left of the lane. She's fouled near the top of the key. The third team foul. And let's see, it looked like that was, Hallie Shaver with her second. So she's going to take a seat on the bench, and Abby Mussman back in. Amber Stratman into the game for Brush. Now without Maddie Rule and Aurora Thomas, they're responsible for the 10 points. Let's see where they get the offense. Stratman bounce pass to Odell on the outside right. Odell looking, lobby at the top for Keller, into the lane. Keller bounce pass, right corner for Kerr. She can't take that three. She steps in, then has your shot blocked, but she gets it right back. Kerr in the lane, then is stripped and fouled. Boy, Maddie Kerr, a very good athlete. And that time, she was fouled, but looking at the Mustang, Maddie Griffith, who committed the foul. And to trigger it with the Mustangs down by 6 for Brush is Sydney Odell, 51.9 seconds to go. In the opening quarter, Odell on the outside right, Stratman, left-handed dribble, back near the top to Keller. She sets up the Beedigger offense. Keller double team, bounce pass, free throw line for Kendall Elliott. Right wing Odell, she'll take the long one, and it's off the back of the rim. Maddie Kerr, though, tried to chase down the rebound, and it's out of bounds off of Kelsey Shaver. Beediggers retained possession. To throw it in will be Keller with 38.8 to go. To the right of the basket, Allie Keller will feed it to Kerr in the left corner. Kerr against Griffith. Dribbles left of the lane. Jump pass over to Stratman. Bounce pass to Odell. Right corner Keller. She'll take the three. She's going to miss badly, but scoring and being fouled is Maddie Kerr because it was an air ball and fouled by Kelsey Shaver, her second. And Maddie Kerr to the line. And the Bead Diggers lead by 8 again. It's 14-6. And Maddie Kerr at the charity stripe, and Maddie Rule is back into the game, replacing Sydney Odell. And again, Maddie Rule is outscored Brush by herself, or Fort Morgan by herself, I should say. She's got 7 points, and the Mustangs have 6. And now the free throw is upcoming here for Maddie Kerr to try and convert the three-point play. I don't know what the delay is all about. Now Kerr's free throw is up and good. Bead Diggers have their biggest lead of 9. Again, the backcourt pressure being applied. Overhead pass is taken by Mussman. She's crossing midcourt, picked up by Stratman. Now double team. Overhead pass is going to go out of bounds, intended for Maddie Griffith along the middle of the court. And for the Mustangs, only their second turnover. It's been a pretty well played first quarter. The Bead Diggers only have one miscue. 18.8 seconds to go. Let's see if Brush settles for the final shot of the opening quarter. Here's Allie Keller at the top. On the outside left to Rule. Rule with the basketball, dribbling, picks up the dribble. Outside right to Keller, fakes the three, steps to her left. 8 seconds to go. Outside left Kerr, she'll put it up. She'll miss it badly. Rebound, Keller puts it up and in! Allie Keller off the rebound with 2 seconds to go. And that's going to be the end of the opening quarter. Allie Keller, 4 points here. And doing a nice job with that rebound. It's Brush 17, Fort Morgan 6. Let's take a 1-minute break. 1 minute on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. We begin the second quarter. Brush girls lead Fort Morgan 17-6. Mustang basketball on the outside right. Autumn Wheatley swings it on the bounce pass towards the top, and then Haley Lewis nearly lost it, got it back out there to Maddie Griffith. We'll set the lineup. Riley Bauman also out there, and Abby Mussman has the basketball. Those are the 5 Fort Morgan Mustangs. Overhead pass is taken by Griffith at the top, right of the lane. Back out Lewis. Fakes the three, steps in. Jump pass over to Griffith. Has a shot blocked over there by Maddie Rule. And the ball is poked out of bounds. And it's off of Fort Morgan. And the Bead Diggers will have the basketball up 17-6 here early in the second quarter. For the Bead Diggers, Allie Keller, Maddie Rule, Molly Link, Aurora Thomas, and Sydney Odell. Keller the other way on the outside left to Rule. She'll take a three. Bingo! For Maddie Rule, and the Bead Diggers lead by 14. It's 20-6. And the Mustangs have got to do something here. Overhead pass going to be headed out of bounds, intended in the front court there for Riley Bauman. But again, they're unable to stop Maddie Rule here. She's got 10 points, again outscoring Fort Morgan. Allie Keller calls out the play, swings it on the outside right to Thomas. Bead Diggers playing much better than they did last night when they beat Bennett 49-37. On the high left to Odell, she'll take a three, and that is banked no good. And the rebound is secured over there by the Mustangs and Autumn Wheatley. Fort Morgan the other way. On the high left, Mussman penetrates left baseline, and then she's fouled on the floor. Sydney Odell got her across the wrist. All right, I'm told that number 2 is Lauren Keller. Thanks to my buddy Nick Beltran. It says Wheatley on the roster here. Here's Haley Lewis with the basketball. At least if I pull that up. Let's see if I've got that correct. And then the ball nearly stolen at midcourt. Yeah, so Lauren Keller wearing number 2 for Fort Morgan. Yeah, I coached her in softball long. Yeah, you can tell that is Lauren. Really good athlete. Keller with the basketball. The Bead Diggers lead 20-6, 6:20 to go, second quarter in Fort Morgan. With the basketball spinning at the top on the outside right is Griffith. Back out to Keller. Keller guarded closely by the other Keller, Allie Keller. Back out to Griffith. And just swinging it around slowly with the basketball now. Well, wearing number 3. I'm not sure who number 3 is for Fort Morgan. Again, not on this particular roster. Back out to Keller. Keller on the high right with the basketball. Lobs it down low, and the ball is stolen away by Maddie Rule. Third turnover. Here's Keller the other way. Long pass is taken by Thomas, and the B-Diggers reset. Here's a Keller three, and that hits the bottom of the backboard. The rebound to Link, and then the baseline is missed by Odell. Rebound Link. Puts it up and in. Molly Link scores off the rebound. And the B-Diggers have a 16-point lead at 22-6. And again, the rebounding helping out the B-Diggers drastically there. A timeout call by the Mustangs, brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. As Brush is playing extremely well here in the opening half against Fort Morgan. In Fort Morgan. This was a 14-6 game at one point. The B-Diggers have scored the last 8 points of the game and lead by 16. And now they've got to wonder. Head coach Andy Schoen's got to wonder what he can do with his girls, because they want to remain competitive, but Brush is playing very well right now. Yeah, I'll find out who number 3 is for Fort Morgan, not on this particular roster. In the backcourt to Griffith. Mustangs have the basketball in the backcourt. Here's Maddie Griffith into the front court. Long pass towards Lewis off her right hand out of bounds. And that's turnover number 4. They're not turning it over much, but Brush is playing so well offensively. Thomas is out, Kerr is in. And Molly Link is out, Kendall Elliott is in. And the B-Diggers have just one turnover in 10.5 minutes of basketball and lead by 16. Allie Keller the other way for the B-Diggers. Keller on the outside left, feeds it to Odell. Odell left of the lane, back out right wing. Here is Maddie Kerr, dribbles by 2. Has her shot blocked out of there, but is tracked down by Maddie Rule. And the B-Diggers reset the offense. Outside left to Odell. Odell at the free throw line, jump pass to Rule. 3 in the air, in and out. She nearly made another one. The ball's knocked out of bounds. And it stays with Brush with 5:03 to go. Substitutions there for Fort Morgan. Kelsey Shaver and Abby Mussman back into the game. Rule to throw it in. Right corner for Allie Keller. Back out to Kerr. Left wing Odell. Wide open shot is off to the right. She's cold in this half. The rest of the team seems to be functioning well in terms of the shooting. And there's a traveling violation as the Mustang had the ball on the floor off the rebound in Allie Shaver, but then she shuffled her feet. B-Diggers have possession of the basketball. Rule to throw it in. Right corner for Allie Keller. Back out to Kerr. Kerr had the ball stripped, but Kerr tries to chase it down. It goes out of bounds off of Kerr. Only Brush's second turnover of the game as she was on the floor trying to retrieve that basketball. So it will be Mustang basketball quarter court. And here is Hallie Shaver. Shaver dribbling to her right against Maddie Rule, who's been very tough for the Beat-Diggers today. In the left corner for Mussman. Can't take that three. Guarded by Odell. 4.5 to go second quarter. Brush 22. Fort Morgan 6. 3 in the air. It's banked in. The left-handed Hallie Shaver scores. Fort Morgan's first points of the quarter. It's 22-9. Allie Keller for Brush. On the high left to Kendall Elliott. Double team. Dribbles by 2. And then had the ball stripped, but he was fouled. Oh, no, she traveled. Check that, a traveling violation. So nice defense by the Mustangs. And Lauren Keller back in for Fort Morgan. Out there with Haley Lewis. Kelsey Shaver. Hallie Shaver's got the basketball. And Abby Mussman. Mussman in the backcourt. Back out to Shaver. That is Hallie Shaver crossing the timeline. Fort Morgan trying to make this a 10 or 11 point game. Mussman in the right corner. Now to Keller. She'll take the right wing three, and she banks it in. Lauren Keller drills a triple. And all of a sudden, a 16-point game is down to 10. 22-12. Maddie Rule the other way. And did she throw it out of bounds? No, it was tipped away, apparently. We've got a view here that we're partially shielded. And Maddie Kerr is out. Amber Stratman in. Stratman, Keller. Haley Unrein back into the game. Maddie Rule and Kendall Elliott. B-Diggers need some offense now with Fort Morgan starting to get hot. 2 threes in a row. On the outside right is Rule. Now to Haley Unrein. Bounce past to Stratman. Little 15-footer is going to be well short. And the ball is wrestled away. And is that going to be a tie-up between Keller and Rule? It is. B-Diggers retain possession with 3:39 to go. Second quarter. Brush 22. Fort Morgan 12. And Molly Link is going to come back into the game for Haley Unrein. And Rule to throw it in. Rule looking, still looking. Lobs it outside left for Keller. In the left corner, Elliott. She'll take a long one. Good! Kendall Elliott drills a three. And the Beat Diggers back up by a baker's dozen. We got a few threes in this game. It's 25-12. Elliott's first points. Here is Shaver the other way. That's Hallie Shaver for Fort Morgan. 3:20 to go. Lob down low for Lewis. Dribbles, turns, banks, and scores. And a foul! Haley Lewis to the stripe, and now the Mustangs are generating some offense here. It's an 11-point game, and the foul was committed by Kendall Elliott. That's going to be her second. Haley Lewis is so strong down low. She's got 6 points. Aurora Thomas back into the game. And now the Beat Diggers have Jade Gleason coming in for Allie Keller. So it's Gleason, Link, Thomas, Stratman, and Rule. Well, they've kept Rule in the game for Brush. They have to. Way too good of a player to take out even for a short period. Free throws off to the right. Amber Stratman grabs the rebound for the Beat Diggers. Here is Maddie Rule crossing midcourt. Met at the top by Hallie Shaver. Picks up her dribble, looking. Lobs it cross court towards Thomas. Taken by Stratman in the corner to Thomas. She's going to throw it cross court to Link. She fakes the three straight away to Rule. Maddie Rule holding the ball up high. Right wing to Thomas. She'll take a long three. Bingo! And brushes up 28-14. Thomas with a three in each quarter. Backcourt pass tipped away. There's a foul on Thomas. Made body contact over there with Kelsey Shaver. 16 foul for Brush. Fort Morgan's got 5. Thomas with her first personal. And to throw it in near midcourt is going to be Abby Mussman. Well, the Beat Diggers up by 14. It was a 16-point game, and then Fort Morgan whittled it down to 10 on back-to-back threes by Hallie Shaver and Lauren Keller. 2:39 to go. Mussman spins on Link, left of the lane, in the lane, hooks, and the ball is partially blocked. Mussman saves it into Keller, little 6-footer, no good. And Jade Gleason comes away with a rebound. Rule the other way for Brush. Rule at the top. Rule dribbling to her right. Maddie Rule swings it back out to Link. Link looking left side to Thomas. Thomas gets a pick into the lane. Jump pass over Rule's hand out of bounds. And it's hard to throw it over Maddie Rule. She's tall and a very good athlete, but that one just escaped her grip there. 4 turnovers for the Beat Diggers. Fort Morgan with only 5 as we're down to 2:14 here to go second quarter. Brush 28, Fort Morgan 14. And Shaver with a basketball. Bounce pass near midcourt to the other Shaver. That is Kelsey. Back out to Hallie. Hallie swings it left corner for Mussman. Picked up by Link. Inside to Molly. Check that. Haley Lewis. She banks and misses over Molly Link. And that's going to be a foul on Link. That would be her second and will be her second with 1:59 to go second quarter. Now Lewis's problem has been from the line. She's 0 out of 3. Doesn't look smooth there at all. She dribbles, bends, shoots, and she's short that time. Well, that's got to be psychological. She's too good of a player to be missing that many free throws in a row. 0 out of 4 right now. Second free throws coming up for the junior. And that is up, and that is in. Haley Lewis now with 7. It's Brush 28, Fort Morgan 15. Less than 2 minutes to go in the opening half, the first of 2 games. Allie Keller swings it right side for Thomas. Down low for Stratman, double team. Then she had the ball taken away, stripped nicely by Kelsey Shaver. Turnover number 5 for Brush. Kelsey Shaver swings it left side for Keller. Lauren Keller guarded by Stratman. Keller dribbles to her right, feeds it at the top for Hallie. Outside right to Haley Lewis. Penetrates right baseline, all the way, leans, and banks it in. Is that a defensive foul or an offensive foul? It's going to be an offensive foul on Haley Lewis. Nice job, Molly Link taking the contact. And for the Mustangs, only their 6th turnover. 1:33 to go. Beat Diggers retain the 13-point lead. Maddie Kerr and Maddie Rule are back in. Rule must have been out for like 15 seconds. And now we got a 30-second timeout called by the Beat Diggers. Brought to you by Greg Mon at State Farm Insurance. Home Auto Life Health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. 842-4555. And a solid performance by Maddie Rule. But she's been helped out now by Aurora Thomas with 6 points. Allie Keller had 4 in the opening quarter. Boys game should start At about 5:15, we're estimating 5:15, especially with the pace of this game. The beat throw, and Fort Morgan has 5. So when you're not taking too many free throws, that speeds up the game. And the officials are doing that even out of the timeout. It is Thomas, Allie Keller, Maddie Rule, Molly Link, and Maddie Kerr for Brush. Haley Lewis, Kelsey Shaver, along with Maddie Griffith, Lauren Keller, and Abby Musman for Fort Morgan. Here's Allie Keller the other way for the Bead Diggers. Keller with the basketball. Swings it left side to Kerr. Kerr takes a dribble into the lane. Jump pass, right corner, Thomas. Fakes a 3. Feeds it right baseline. Kerr turns, shoots, and short. And the ball is tipped around, and it's still tipped into the hands beautifully of Abby Musman. Strong dribbling. Left baseline for Musman. All the way, scoops it off the glass and in! What a move by Abby Musman. 28-17. The Mustangs are to within 11. On the outside right, Keller lobs it cross court for Kerr, and Kerr is fouled. That will be the 18th foul, and that should be on Kelsey Shaver, her 3rd, and that's not a steal you want to go for with less than a minute to go in the first half. You want to make sure that you don't commit the foul. And now she could land some time on the bench even in the third quarter. Riley Bauman is in. And Maddie Kerr with a 1-and-1, and that is perfect. Maddie Kerr has 4 points in the game. The Bead Diggers back up by 12, 29-17. Second free throw coming, and that is up, and that is short. And the ball is rebounded on one hop by Musman. She's got 5 rebounds in the game. Mustangs the other way. Musman lobs it down low for Lewis. She banks and misses, but she's fouled. Bead Diggers fell asleep defensively, and Haley Lewis to the line again, but she's got to score for the line where she struggled. The Bead Digger foul was committed by Allie Keller, her 1st. Haley Lewis to shoot 2 for Fort Morgan. Yeah, they could feed her a lot, and she could be successful more often than not, but the free throw's off the back of the rim. She shot the only free throws for the Mustangs, and she is just 1 out of 6. Even if she makes this one, still a bad percentage. Second free throw's up, and that one is in. 29-18. Bead Diggers come the other way with Allie Keller towards the top of the three-point circle. Left side to Rule. Rule with the basketball. Swings it down low for Thomas. Back right side to Kerr. Now to Keller. Left wing. Rule. 3 is up and off the back of the rim. And Lauren Keller goes high for the rebound for the Mustangs. And then we got a foul in the backcourt. Again, I don't know. You know, we see this at times with certain teams, why you do that. Maddie Kerr commits the foul. When you're 70 feet away from the basket, you put the other team in the penalty. And now to the line is Lauren Keller. And Kerr is out. Odell is in. 1-and-1. The Bead Diggers commit their 19th foul. Keller's got a 3-pointer in this game. And she bends, shoots, and connects. Lauren Keller, who's just a freshman. 29-19. Hey, the Mustangs have made a nice comeback. They were down by 16. Second free throw is up. And off the back of the rim, the rebound to Lewis. She banks and scores. Haley Lewis straight away off the board. And now the Brush lead is down to 8. Odell the other way, right side for Thomas. Thomas straight away to Rule. Rule to Thomas, right side. 17 seconds to go on the right baseline. Lob inside is over Molly Link's hand, and it's intercepted. Here comes Fort Morgan the other way. Lauren Keller, 9 seconds to go. Now to Lewis. Lewis to Keller with 6. Now to Musman with 5. Hands it off to Maddie Griffith with 3. Right baseline. Shot blocked out of bounds by Maddie Rule with 1 second to go. Here in the opening half, the Mustangs retain possession. We haven't seen this as an 8-point game since it was 14-6. And Griffith to throw it in. Looking inside, lobbing inside. It's off the hands of Musman. That's the end of the opening half, but a good second quarter for Fort Morgan. The Mustangs trail the Bead Diggers. The Lady Diggers lead 29-21. It's a 3-minute break on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the second half. The Lady Bead Diggers lead the Lady Mustangs of Fort Morgan 29-21 from Fort Morgan High School. I'm John Beltran. We'll be with for both games here from Fort Morgan High School, assuming I get through the English language. which sometimes is a struggle for me. Molly Link, Maddie Rule, Kendall Elliott, along with Allie Keller and Sydney Odell for Brush. For the Mustangs, Abby Mussman, along with Hallie Shaver, Haley Lewis, Riley Bauman, and Maddie Griffith. Kelsey Shaver's on the sideline with 3 fouls. Mustang basketball to begin the third. Mussman to throw it in. And I don't think these cheerleaders are realizing, get out of the way. They're trying to start the second half and you're walking on the court. Preparation and anticipation. And now they're where they should have been 2 minutes ago. All right, here we go. Both cheerleaders actually on both sides. Mussman to throw it in. Overhead pass to Haley Lewis. Lewis with a basketball, dribbling towards the top of the left hand. Hands it off to Griffith. Back out to Hallie Shaver. Shaver with a basketball. Swings to the left side to Griffith. Dribbling towards the left baseline. Poked away by Keller. Gets it right. Bounce pass is intercepted by Link, intended for Bauman. Here's Maddie Rule with the basketball. 7 turnover for the Mustangs. Elliott on the outside right. She'll take the three. Yes! Kendall Elliott was just left alone. She drills another triple. And the Bead Diggers now lead 32-21. And a whistle and a foul in the backcourt on Keller. And again, you can get overly aggressive committing those fouls that are too far away from the basket. That's what happened there. With the Bead Diggers applying the pressure. Inbounds pass to Mussman. Still in the backcourt. Lewis has her pass tipped away, and it's intercepted by Sydney Odell. That's 2 turnovers in the early going in the third. Outside left for Rule. Rule with the basketball, looking down low, swings it cross court to Elliott. Elliott in the lane, bounce pass to Odell, right baseline, and she spins it out, misses a little 10-footer. And the rebound is into the hands of Maddie Griffith. Griffith across the timeline, hands it off to Shaver with 6:58 to go in the third. Brush 32, Fort Morgan 21. On the high left to Griffith, straight away to Shaver. Guarded by Maddie Rule. On the high right to Mussman. Picked up by Odell, well behind the three-point line. Swings it back out to Shaver. Shaver with a right-handed dribble, right corner bounce pass to Mussman. Mussman against Odell, penetrates by Odell, and then her jump pass is tipped away by Elliott. Mussman has the ball right back, and then she's fouled as she went up strong right underneath the basket. Abby Mussman to the line, and the Bead Diggers have committed their second team foul here in the quarter. And that one is on Kendall Elliott. That'll be her third. Mussman in the opening half scored a deuce. And now the 2 free throws coming up. Fort Morgan has struggled from the line mightily. And that free throw's off to the right. They're 3 out of 10. Yeah, when you're not a proficient offensive team, you got to be able to score at the line. Maddie Kerr is in for Sydney Odell. The Bead Diggers make a substitution less than a minute and a half into the third. Elliott is out. Check that because Elliott did commit her third foul, so Odell's still in the game. Second free throw is up, and that's very short. Molly Link has the rebound for Brush. Here comes Maddie Rule the other way. Rule dribbling towards the top. Bounce pass outside right for Kerr. Kerr with the basketball is going to feed Keller. Little 16-footer is off the back of the rim, and she's fouled. I believe that Kerr, I checked that Keller was fouled on the follow-through, and she was. Nope, they're going to say it was after the shot, so it's on the floor. But the foul is on Maddie Griffith of the Mustangs. And to throw it in will be Keller. Excuse me. Keller looking, still looking. Swings it at the top for Odell. Odell to her right to Keller. Keller dribbling in the right corner, picks up the dribble. Baseball pass to Kerr. Straight away three. Bucket! Maddie Kerr has hit Brush's 6th-3 of the game, and the Bead Diggers lead 35-21. And Maddie Kerr's got 7 points. Long baseball pass towards Bauman. Chases it down in the left corner. Back out off Griffith's hands, out of bounds. Close to that Fort Morgan bench, and the Mustangs commit their 9th turnover, the 3rd of this quarter. The Bead Diggers are running away from the Mustangs again. Lauren Keller back into the game along with Kelsey Shaver. 35-21. Bead Diggers looking for another bucket. Their biggest lead has been 16. Allie Keller swings it left side to Odell, fakes the three, steps into the lane, and then has her jump pass knocked away, and it's intercepted by Hallie Shaver. Over to Lewis. She banks, scores with the left hand. That's Haley Lewis. Haley Lewis has got 12. Roll the other way. The Bee Diggers trail. Check that lead by only 12. On the outside left, a pass to Sydney Odell's knocked out of bounds. Bee Diggers retain possession. Oh, it's off of Brush. Yeah, I thought the official was pointing one way, then the other. That went off of Odell's hand. It was a forced pass, one of the few forced passes we've seen from Maddie Rule. 5.5 to go in the third. Brush 35, Fort Morgan 23. Hallie Shaver in the backcourt, front court pass to Kelsey Shaver. They can make this a single-digit game with a three. Shaver down low for Riley Bauman. She banks and misses, and the rebound and putback is off the bottom of the backboard, and that was missed by Kelsey Shaver, now taken away by Molly Link. The Bee Diggers come on the other end with Sydney Odell straight away. Bounce pass on the outside right to Maddie Kerr. Maddie Kerr, 14-footer fouled as she missed. She put a shot right up at the free throw line, and Hallie Shaver got her across the wrist. Her third foul. Maddie Kerr to shoot 2. And Kerr's got 7 in the game. And the free throw is up and perfect. Well, Maddie Rule has been held in check since the opening quarter. She's got just 3 points since the first quarter, but she did do a lot of damage to the Mustangs at that point. Second free throw is upcoming, and that one is around and good. Maddie Kerr makes 2. 36-24. Well, I don't think that's the right score. I had her making 2, unless one of those shots was taken by... Unless the Maddie Kerr was not a 3 earlier. There you go, 37-24. Jump pass inside, knocked out of bounds. Yeah, it drives me insane when your job is to keep scoring. You can't do it consistently. Mustangs retain possession. Sydney Odell is out along with Molly Link. Kendall Elliott is in along with Aurora Thomas. 13-point lead for Brush. Mustangs have it on the offensive end with 4:56 to go, third quarter. Shaver into Lewis, back out to Lauren Keller. Right corner, here is Kelsey Shaver, and then her pass for Keller is intercepted by Aurora Thomas. And then we've got a whistle and a foul in the front court. Maddie Kerr went flying to the floor. She was contacted, I believe, by Riley Bauman. And now we've seen a lot more fouls in this third quarter than we did see in the opening half, and Bauman has committed her first. Maddie Rule to throw it in three-quarters court for Brush. Here is Maddie Kerr on the high left to Allie Keller. Keller spinning, bounce pass to Kerr. Kerr on the outside right, cross court to Thomas. Thomas to Keller. Bounce pass, left base under Rule in the lane, spin, shoots, foul as she missed. Maddie Rule felt the contact and threw it up towards the basket at the same time. And the foul, Lee Lewis, her second. Maddie Rule to shoot 2. E&J Plumbing can handle all your plumbing needs, from clogged drains to a major construction project. 522-3828. And the first free throw by Maddie Rule is no good. Off to the left. Second free throw upcoming. That is up, and that is in. The Bee Digger lead is 14, 38-24. And why is Allie Keller about to throw it in? What is she doing? Well, she used to wear a Fort Morgan uniform, but it is Mustang basketball. I don't know what was happening there. She lost her head for a second. I mean, and she was motioning offensive players. Hey! Here we go. In the backcourt is Keller. Keller across the timeline on the outside left. Here with the basketball. As the ball is tipped away, it's Kelsey Callis. Loose on the floor. Keller and Kerr go diving for the basketball. And do we have a Fort Morgan timeout or a foul on Brush? I think it's a foul on the Bee Diggers and Maddie Kerr, and it is. That's her second. The Mustangs have 14 fouls, and the Bee Diggers have 3 in this quarter. More substitutions as Keller and Kerr are out. It's Odell Unrein now. Thomas, there's a lob into Lewis. She turns, banks, and scores to the left of the basket. Haley Lewis again. She's got 14. The Mustangs to within 12. Odell the other way on the right baseline. Odell bounce pass towards Elliott. Intercepted over there by Shaver. It's been a struggle tonight for Sydney. Turnover number 9. At the top for Keller. On the outside right to Mussman. Mussman engineering the offense for Fort Morgan. well behind the three-point line. Mossman looking, swings it near the top to Shaver. Shaver against Unrein, and that looked like a travel, or just a timeout. It looked like she dragged the back foot, but the timeout brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you to the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East, 3:52 to go, third quarter. And the Lady Bead Diggers lead the Lady Mustangs 38-26. Haley Lewis is now the leading scorer in the game as the Fort Morgan junior has got 14 points. The Bead Diggers have 11 from Maddie Rule and 9 from Maddie Kerr. And the two times that Fort Morgan has inched closer, the Bead Diggers have put together a little run. Kelsey Callis, Haley Lewis, Lauren Keller, Kelsey Shaver, and Abby Musman for the Mustangs. And the Bead Diggers with Maddie Rule, Haley Unrein, Aurora Thomas, Sydney Odo, and Kendall Elliott back in with 3 fouls. Elliott's hit a couple of critical threes. And to throw it in will be Musman. Musman to Shaver. Shaver just beyond the timeline. Feeds it left side to Keller. Keller at the top. Right side to Musman. Musman with the basketball. Right of the lane to Lewis all the way. She scoops it up and she misses, but she's fouled. If you don't cut off Haley Lewis, she's too good. She'll be at the line again, and Maddie Rule commits the foul. That's her second. And Haley Lewis back to the line again. She's attempted 7 free throws in the game. The issue is she's made only 2. Let's see if she can go 2 for 2 right now. And she might. She drills the first. Lewis now with 15. The Mustang deficit is down to 11. Second free throw upcoming. In the air. And that's in and out. And Maddie Rule has the rebound for Brush. That's her 5th. Rule the other way. Rule crossing over left of the lane, in the lane, hooks it up and in, and a foul! Maddie Rule again. She took over right there and scored. And she's at the line. She's got 13 points. And the foul is committed by Haley Lewis, her 3rd. That's what Maddie Rule is capable of when she wants to take over a game. And now the lead is 13 again. Her points have been the difference mathematically. And here comes Riley Bauman in for Haley Lewis. That's a big loss there for Fort Morgan with their best player out. The Maddie Rule free throw is up and around and good. She now has 14. That's the lead for Brush, 41-27. Maddie Rule is out. Maddie Kerr is in. And to throw it in will be Kelsey Shaver in the backcourt to Keller. Keller pressured by Odell. Cross court to Musman. Musman picked up by Allie Keller. Now to Shaver. Bounce pass front court to Keller. Keller near the top with 3:15 to go in the third. Penetrating left baseline, Musman, and she ran over a Bead Digger. No whistle. She missed as Kendall Elliott took the contact. And the ball's out of bounds, and it goes to the Bead Diggers. Well, I guess it's a good no whistle. But there was plenty of contact there. And now Wolliver into the game for the Bead Diggers for the first time. That's Amber Wolliver. Allie Keller across midcourt for Brush. Right side to Maddie Kerr. Baseline pass to Elliott. Elliott's double team. She's got to swing it out somewhere. Nearly threw it away. Did throw it away. A steal by Lauren Keller. Keller with 1 to beat all the way. Lays it up and short. And the ball is taken away by Shaver. And then she threw it away into the hands of Kendall Elliott. And then it's re-intercepted. Here is Lauren Keller with 2:42 to go in the third. Hands it off to Musman. Brush 41, Fort Morgan 27. On the outside right to Shaver. Kelsey down low, and that was intended for Bauman. Intercepted by Keller. Keller comes the other way, in between the two, puts it up off to the left. And the ball is rebounded nicely over there by Callis. Can she get rid of it successfully? She does to Shaver. Here's Lauren Keller. Neither team has scored in the last minute. Keller across the timeline. Swings it right side for Musman. Knocked out of bounds by Wolliver. And the Mustangs retain possession, 3/4 court. Here come Maddie Griffith and Haley Lewis in for Fort Morgan. And Maddie Rule back in for Brush. And we got a timeout Full timeout called by the Bee Diggers, brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. We'll keep it right here in the latter moments of the third, with Brush up 41-27. Bee Diggers came into this game with a 5-1 record. The Mustangs at 2-4. So both will play the identical number of games in December, 7 games apiece. Maddie Rule has 14 points for Brush. Haley Lewis, 15 for Fort Morgan. Nice crowd has settled in. Not a capacity crowd, but the upper reaches have got plenty of fans, and there's also fans on the south side. Here we go with a 14-point Bee Digger lead. We'll reset the lineup. Kerr, Link, Rule, Thomas, and Keller for Brush. It is Lauren Keller, along with Maddie Griffith, Hallie Shaver, Haley Lewis, and Riley Bauman for the Mustangs. Mustang basketball. There's the inbounds pass to Hallie Shaver. Shaver to her right to Griffith, dribbling to the right corner, picked up by Thomas. Now picks up her dribble, bounces it back out off the right hand of Shaver, but she was pushed by Allie Keller. That'll be the 5th team foul. And for Allie Keller, that's her 3rd personal. So both teams have 5 team fouls. We could see quite a few free throws in the 4th quarter. And bounce pass is taken over there by Shaver. Shaver against Keller. Bounce pass intercepted by Kerr. Kerr with the basketball all the way, lays it up, and she missed it. Off the turnover, Lauren Keller with a rebound. And then the ball nearly restolen there by the Bee Diggers, loose on the floor. And there's a tie-up between Keller and Keller. Possession arrow rush. And Kerr is out. Kendall Elliott back in with the 3 fouls. Allie Keller is out. And Maddie Rule to throw it in. The Bee Diggers have their biggest advantage of 16 in the game. This is 14 right now. The overhead pass is taken by Kerr. Kerr on the left corner for Rule. Rule to her right. Swings it back out to Maddie Kerr. Kerr to Thomas, high right. Free throw line, leg 15-footer around and good. It just sat on the back of the rim for Molly Lincoln. The Bee Diggers lead. And it should be 43-27. That was a 2-pointer. I don't know what's happening here. Molly Link with a bucket. We'll have to look at the scoreboard here. 5, 7, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, and the Mustangs get a bucket that I just missed. Was that Lewis? Or that was Shaver scoring. We'll see what it's all about here. 44-29. Thomas dribbling right baseline for the Bee Diggers. Spinning double team back out to Rule. Overhead pass to Kerr. Kerr, 3 in the air, is off to the right. And the rebound controlled by Haley Lewis of Fort Morgan, her 4th rebound. Yeah, we'll check the numbers here momentarily. 2, 5, 7, 10, 14. Yeah, it should be 43 points, not 44. The 3 is up and around and no good, miss by Shaver. And the rebound pulled down by Molly Link. Yeah, the scorekeeping here, you got to be better than that. Should be 43-29, not 44-29. Actually, 2, 6, 7. Should be 43-28. Oh, my gosh. Rule in the lane as your shot blocked, but a foul. And that foul was committed by Riley Bauman. That's her 2nd. Maddie Rule to the line. Yeah, where are they getting this score? It should be 43-28. And the free throw is good. That was a 3?
They counted a 3, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, Shaver. All right, Shavers was a 3. The free throw is in.
That's the only way between
Yep.
Steve.
2nd free throw is up and good. 5, 7, 10, 12, 14, 16. But the Bee Diggers should only have 45 points. They have 46 on the board. They counted 3 points on 2 free throws. Here is Shaver at midcourt. The Bee Diggers up by 17. Into the lane is Shaver back out. Bounce pass to Keller. Keller near the top to Shaver. Swings it right side to Griffith. 10 seconds to go. Lobs it inside for Lewis. Intercepted by Thomas. Thomas into the front court is fouled there by Keller. off the Mustang turnover, and Lauren Keller commits just her first. And back at the line. So Hallie Shaver apparently did hit a 3. But even still, it should be a 16-point game, not a 17-point game. 5.5 seconds to go. Thomas to shoot the 1-and-1. And the free throw is up and good. Yeah, the Bead Diggers in this quarter, in my book, they have 17 points. That should give them 46, not the 47 that's on the board. This drives me insane. Second free throw up and good. Simple math, one at a time. You don't get 3 points for 2 free throws. It says 48-29. Shaver across midcourt at the top puts up a desperation 3, and it's off the bottom of the backboard. Well, we'll go with this score, which is wrong, but I'll tell you anyway. We have played 3. It is Brush 48, Fort Morgan 29 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. The Lady Bead Diggers in firm control. They've been given an extra point because of mathematical issues. 48-29. With the Bead Diggers leading the Lady Mustangs of Fort Morgan as we go to the 4th. Yeah, Brush in that quarter. They had 29 at the break. They would have them for 19 in the quarter, but 5, 8, 10, 12, 14. They scored 18 points. And I am dead positive that I got those correct. Because when they scored the extra point, it was off of 2 made free throws. All right, we'll leave that alone. Lauren Keller with the basketball for Fort Morgan. Back out to Hallie Shaver. Out there with Abby Mussman, Kelsey Shaver, and Haley Lewis. Here's Haley Lewis in a lane. Turns, shoots, partially blocked by Rule. Taken away by Keller, and the ball is out of bounds. And it is off of Allie Keller. It will be Fort Morgan basketball. The Bay Diggers have Maddie Kerr, Allie Keller, Kendall Elliott, Maddie Rule, and Sydney Odell. On the high left is Mussman. Mussman against Odell, looking for Lewis, and we've got a traveling violation. She dragged the back foot. And the Mustangs have committed their 15th turnover of the game. Here comes Sydney Odell for Brush in the backcourt to Keller. Keller left-handed dribble, spinning, bounce pass over to Odell in the front court to Rule. Rule jump pass down low for Elliott. She puts it up, and she missed it. And the ball is volleyballed into the hands of Maddie Kerr, and I think she was fouled. Kendall Elliott saying to herself, how did I miss that? But the Mustang foul was committed by Shaver. That is Hallie Shaver's 4th. We've seen a lot more free throws here in the second half, at least by Brush. And Maddie Kerr at the stripe. She shoots 2 and she makes the first. Maddie Kerr is 5 out of 6 for the line. She's got 10 points in the game. Bead Diggers lead 49-29. Second free throw is up and in, and the Bead Diggers have a 21-point advantage in the game. Here is Shaver the other way. 45 seconds into the 4th. Shaver crossover dribble on the outside right to Mussman. The Bead Diggers are playing excellent defense on the high left to Keller. Keller against Keller. Back out to Shaver. Shaver against Maddie Kerr. Right-handed dribble to her right. Bounce pass to Mussman. Down low, here is Kelsey Shaver. Lost the ball, got it back. Bounce pass to Mussman. 3 in the air is an air ball, but it's tracked down over there by Kelsey Shaver. Back out to Lewis in the lane all the way. Scoops it up and in off the glass and a foul. Haley Lewis again. She's got 17 in the game. And the junior goes to the stripe. And the Bead Digger foul was committed. Looks like it might have been Kendall Elliott. It was. Let's see if Coach Hollander takes her out. The free throw is up and in and out. Maddie Rule has the rebound. Here comes Rule the other way for the Bead Diggers. Rule on the outside right. Here's Allie Keller. Steps in. 15-footer. It's off the back of the rim. And the ball is rebounded by Lewis. Here come the Mustangs the other way. Long pass. And it's over the hand of Kelsey Shaver out of bounds. It'll be Bead Digger basketball. That is turnover number 16 for Fort Morgan. 50-31, 6:20 to go in the game. Allie Keller in the backcourt. The bounce pass to Rule. Overhead pass is taken by Odell, and then Odell fell down. And she was fouled by Lewis. That's going to be Lewis's fourth. Eighth team foul, 1-and-1 situation. And Sydney Odell's tough. She went down hard but got up like nothing happened. Sydney looking for her first point of the game. As she's the stripe. And the free throw by Odell is up and in and out. Rebound to Kelsey Shaver of Fort Morgan. Into the front court to Mussman. Mussman outside left baseline, all the way, scoops it up, and she misses, but she's fouled. Nice strong move there by Abby Mussman. And the Beat Digger foul is on Kendall Elliott. She's out. That should be her fifth, unless it was on somebody else, but I think the official said 14. Well, they've got it 4 on the board, so maybe that was just her fourth. I had it as her fifth. The Mussman free throw is up, and that's good. For Abby Mussman, Aurora Thomas into the game. The Beat Diggers are 6 minutes and 7 seconds away from beating Fort Morgan for the 15th time in a row. And that one is up, and that one is in. 50-33. Thomas the other way, long pass towards Kerr. Kerr on the outside right, 15-footer, back rimmed it. And Kelsey Shaver pulls down another rebound, her fourth. Here comes Shaver across the timeline. That's Hallie Shaver dribbling left baseline, backs up on Thomas. Over to Keller. Keller guarded by Allie Keller. And we got a timeout called by the Mustangs. With 5:46 to go, it's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. Brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. It is Brush 50, Fort Morgan 33. We're back in 1 minute on B106 and B106.com. Haley Lewis grabs the rebound and scores off the miss there by Kelsey Shaver. She'll go to the line right off the inbounds pass, and Haley Lewis is keeping Fort Morgan in this game. And that foul was on Haley Unrein. And what a job by Haley Lewis. She's got 19 in the game, leading all scorers. Kendall Elliott steps out. It's 50-35, still plenty of time, 5:35 to go. And the Lewis free throw is up and off to the right. Man, she's missed a bunch of them. And nearly a tie-up for the rebound. There was a tie-up. And I think the possession arrow goes to the Beat Diggers. Maddie Rule tied up with Abby Mussman. Another timeout, 30-second timeout brought to you by Greg Mona, State Farm Insurance, called by the Beat Diggers. And you wonder why timeouts are called so close together. But if you have them and you need to take them, go for it. 50-35. 5:33 to go in the game. Brush is as many as 21. They're being outscored in the quarter by Fort Morgan 6-2. And Haley Lewis has more than half of her team's points. She's got 19. While the Beat Diggers have got 16 from Maddie Rule. That's nearly a third of her team's points. He rolled it in. Rule, Unrein, Link, Thomas, and Keller for Brush. There's the lob to Thomas. It is Keller, Shaver, Mussman, and Lewis for Fort Morgan. Into the front court is Maddie Rule on the outside right. She's got a couple of teammates open, feeds Thomas. Thomas at the top with the basketball. Thomas to her right to Maddie Rule, holding the ball up high. Rule crossover dribble back out to Thomas. Thomas to her right, well behind the three-point line. Here's Allie Keller, nearly stripped. She gets it right back. Keller, right-handed dribble, left of the lane. Backs it out on the bounce to Thomas. 5 minutes to go in the game. Thomas on the high right with the basketball. Keeps the dribble. Spins on the defender. Hallie Shaver back to her right in the right corner for Rule. Rule, left-handed dribble. Jump pass to Thomas straight away. Unrein, wide open three is short. And the rebound controlled by Lauren Keller of the Mustangs. That's her third. There's the outlet to Shaver. They can make this a 12-point game with a three. Hallie Shaver dribbling to her left, nearly cut off by Thomas, maintains the dribble. Left baseline, Mussman all the way, leads it. She's fouled from behind. I think Maddie Rule got her across the wrist as she missed. And Abby Mussman to shoot a deuce. Oh, instead it's Allie Keller. Keller with her fourth. Mussman tonight has got 4 points. Yeah, now this game going a little bit longer because of the free throws, and that one is good. Second free throw upcoming. Second free throw for Mussman. And that is up, and that is around and good. It was off to the right, but it had enough English to go through. It's only a 13-point game. Bee Diggers 50, Mustangs 37. Maddie Rule front court to Odell. Odell with a right-handed dribble, and she is stripped over there by Shaver, and then the ball is loose, and then Shaver, I believe, was she fouled for behind or tied up by Keller? If that's a foul on Keller, she's fouled out. As the Bee Diggers committed the turnover. Yep, and Allie Keller is fouled out. She scored all her points in the opening half. Let's see who's going to check into the game for the Bee Diggers for the disqualified Allie Keller. And it'll be Kendall Elliott, who's got 4 fouls. Well, they can make this an 11-point game. That was the 10th foul, so 2 free throws automatically for Kelsey Shaver, who has not scored. Still 4:20 to go in the game. Shaver bends, shoots, and misses off the back of the rim. The free throw shooting has been tough here for the Mustangs. 3 out of 9 at halftime. And they have missed 6 more free throws. And made 5, and that one is in. 50-38. They need some defensive stops here. Maddie Rule in the backcourt. Picked up by Shaver at midcourt. Overhead pass taken by Elliott. Elliott holding the ball up high. Strip, but she gets it right back. Kendall Elliott maintains the dribble. Bounce pass right baseline for Molly Link. And then that ball's poked away and it's loose. There's a tie-up. Possession arrow should go to, is it back to the Bee Diggers? I thought they just, it was to Fort Morgan momentarily. And now a timeout called by Brush. And we'll take it with them. We have 4:03 to go in the game. It's Brush 50, Fort Morgan 38 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. Maddie Rule with the basketball out of the timeout at the free throw line for Elliott. Elliott takes a dribble. Little 6-foot rainbow is no good. And the rebound controlled by Abby Mussman. Mustangs are still in the game. They trail 50-38. They're in better shape than I am right now. Here's Shaver the other way. Left-handed shot is up and in off the glass. Off the penetration from Hallie Shaver. And she's got 8 points in the game. It's down to a 10-point lead. And then Maddie Rule was fouled in the back. 50-40. This game has turned a little bit ugly. And that foul was committed over there by Hallie Shaver, and she is fouled out. So both teams have a player disqualified because of fouls. Allie Keller for Brush. Hallie Shaver for Fort Morgan. And Maddie Rule to the line. This was a 21-point game. In fact, the Mustangs are on an 11-0 run. Went from 50-29 to 50-40. And the free throw is up and good. The reliable Maddie Rule scores. Now an 11-point game. Second free throw upcoming. And that's up, and that's perfect. 52-40. Bee Diggers apply the pressure. There's a baseball pass in the backcourt to Lewis. Lewis crosses midcourt, double team. Jump pass to Keller. Straight away, here's Maddie Griffith. Let's see if we go at least 30 seconds without a whistle. Griffith, bounce pass down low for Lewis. Lewis trapped, she puts up a in! Oh, she found a lane. Haley Lewis again on the right baseline. Is down to a 10-point game. 3:14 to go, 52-42. Here's Sydney Odell. Odell with the basketball, feeds Kerr on the left towards the baseline. And then she runs into a Mustang, feeds Link. Link misses. Link gets it back. Link is fouled. As she misses the second time around, go to the line. And that foul was on Lauren Keller, her second. Molly Link now with 5 rebounds in the game. She's got 4 points, 2 in each half. The senior bends, shoots, connects. 53-42. Second free throw coming up for Link. And that is up, and that is in. Well, Brush has hit 6 of their 7 free throws here in the quarter. Bounce pass to Keller in the backcourt. Jump pass is tipped away by Kerr, but it's saved by Shaver. Shaver over to Griffith. Griffith, front court pass is taken by Musman. Left baseline, she banks and scores. Abby Musman drove to the bucket. 6 in the quarter, 8 in the game. It's still a 10-point game. 54-44, 2:44 to go. Kerr outside right to Elliott, penetrates right baseline. She misses off the side of the backboard, but it's chased down by Maddie Rule, and she'll reset the Beat Digger offense. Rule jump pass to Kerr, left wing 3. It's off to the left, and the rebound is tied up between Link and Shaver. Possession arrow Fort Morgan. Hey, the Mustangs have a shot here to make this an 8-point game. They did that at halftime. They were down by 16. It was 8 at halftime, went back up to 21. And now 10. Here is Maddie Griffith getting a pick on the outside left. 2:20 to go. Brush 54. Fort Morgan 44. On the high right, Lauren Keller with the basketball. Looking down low. Maintains the dribble. Back out to Griffith. Right of the lane. 15-footer. And Maddie Kerr fouled her. I believe she fouled her because now we're looking at the other end of the court based on the official's view. But it was Kerr fouling her in a shot that was nowhere near the bucket. But she went for the block, and it did not pay off. Maddie Griffith has not scored today, and this free throw is in. Down to a 9-point game. This is very similar to last year's game when Brush had total control and Fort Morgan closed strongly. And Brush won by 8. Second free throw is around and good. Maddie Griffith scores twice there. Maddie Rule with 2:06 to go. 54-46. Cindy Odo across the timeline on the outside right. Bounce pass intercepted by Lauren Keller. And then we get a foul. The foul on Link. 2 free throws. Boy, this is getting very interesting. The Beat Diggers committed just their 14th turnover. Molly Link with her 3rd personal. Lauren Keller can make this a 2-possession game with 1:58 to go. First free throw by Keller is up, and that's off the back of the rim. Second free throw upcoming. This will be the 12th free throw attempted by Fort Morgan in the final quarter. That's up and good. Keller's got 5 in the game, 54-47. Odell to Maddie Rule. Rule with 1:54 to go. Front court to Kerr. Bounce pass to Elliott. Elliott had the ball stripped and is taken away by Shaver. Here comes Lewis the other way. She scoops it up off the glass and in. And a foul on Maddie Rule. And it's down to a 5-point game as Lewis scores. Haley Lewis has got 8 in the quarter and 23 in the game. Maddie Rule commits her 3rd foul. I mean, who saw this coming? And this has turned into, and let me tell you, that extra point they gave Brush now is looming larger. It should be 53-49. But they messed that up a long time ago, and nobody corrected it. I mean, she could conceivably make this a 1-possession game if the score was correct. Should be 1 free throw. I don't know what they're discussing here. 54-49. Haley Lewis can make it a 54-50 game. Free throw is up and good for Haley Lewis. Unbelievable. What a run here. 21-4 run for Fort Morgan. Here is Molly Link with the basketball. Link on the outside left to Odell. Odell back out to Rule. Rule dribbling at the free throw line. Kicks it back out to Kerr. On the high left to Odell. 1:27 remaining. Just beyond midcourt is Odell. Odell maintains the dribble to her right. Odell looking. Jump pass is tipped away to the backcourt. Odell chases it down. She's going to get rid of the basketball, and that time she's fouled. Looks like Odell was fouled along the side there. And fouled by Kelsey Shaver, her fourth, with 1:16 to go. But the Mustangs have made a valiant comeback. Down by 21, coming through with a 21-4 run. And trailing by just 4. Double bonus for Odell. Odell has not scored in this game. And this free throw is up and no good. Second free throw upcoming. What a comeback. If this ends up being a 1-point game, that point that they gave Brush, it's going to look really bad. Second free throw for Odell, and she pulled a string. It's an air ball. Yeah, she's had a rough game. She's had a real rough game. And here comes Fort Morgan the other way. The Beatniggers apply the pressure. Now they back off a bit. The inbounds pass to Keller. In the backcourt, here is Abby Mussman. With 1:10 to go. Dribbling to her left is Mussman towards the left baseline. Mussman underneath the basket. Bounce pass is taken by Lewis. She banks and scores. Haley Lewis turns and scores from a few feet away. It's 54-52. Timeout. With 1:01 to go, Haley Lewis scores again. And she's had a huge quarter with 11 points. 26 in the game. Brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Again, I laid off that topic of that 1 point given to Brush. But I documented each and every point as it went by in that third quarter. And when Maddie Rule made 2 free throws, it went from 44 to 47. It should have been at 46. Or maybe 45 to 48, one of those, but they gave her 3 points for 2 free throws, and there's no doubt about it. Well, Brush in that quarter scored 18 points. They were given credit for 19. So that is a huge scoring gap right now, because it could be a 1-point game. Here we go. It is Molly Link, Kendall Elliott, Maddie Kerr, Aurora Thomas, and Maddie Rule for Brush. Maddie Griffith, Haley Lewis, Abby Mussman, Lauren Keller, and Kelsey Shaver for the Mustangs. With 1:01 to go in the game. There's the inbounds pass to Thomas. She nearly threw it away. Rule was not looking, but Kerr chases it down. Kerr in the back court. Kerr maintains the dribble. Into the front court is Maddie Kerr, and she's fouled by Lewis. Boy, Lewis did a job there of trying to knock it away with her left hand. And I don't know why she did that. That is not something that she should have done, because she had 4 fouls and now she's fouled out. If they somehow win the game without Haley Lewis, she went for a steal, but it was a low percentage play just beyond midcourt. And she has been disqualified. 26 points. Riley Bauman is in. The Kerr free throw is very short and off to the left. And the Beatniggers are almost in choke mode right now. Now the second Kerr free throw is no good, and the free throw is missed, and the rebound is grabbed by Shaver. And the Mustangs can tie the game or take the lead. Griffith is fouled by Kerr on a 15-footer. Maddie Kerr took her hand in there. That's her 4th foul, and to the line is Griffith. Unbelievable. Wow. Here we go. We have a 2-point game with 43.4 to go. Maddie Griffith just nailed 2 free throws moments ago. She spins. She shoots. She misses off to the right. Second free throw is upcoming. Well, highlights of this game on YouTube. More Brush than Fort Morgan, even though they've come back with a vengeance here. Second free throw is up and in, and keep in mind it's a 1-point game. 54-53. Thomas to Rule. 39 seconds to go. Rule in the backcourt. Jump pass to Kerr. Kerr at the top of the 3-point circle. Left baseline. Here's Molly Link all the way. She's fouled as she misses with 32.6 seconds to go. Molly Link to the line. And the foul was committed by Kelsey Callis. I believe that's, I thought he put up a 3. No, I'm sorry, Abby Mussman. I thought he put up a 3 and a 2. Mussman only with her first. Kelsey's not even in the game. Molly Link to shoot too, but all of a sudden the B-Diggers, who were shooting very well for the line in this quarter, have missed their last three. But Molly Link sinks the free throw. She's 3 out of 3 from the line in the quarter and in the game. Link was 7. Brush 55. Fort Morgan 53. Second free throw upcoming. Link bends, shoots, and scores. The B-Diggers up by 3. 32.6 to go. It's inbounded to Abby Mussman on the outside left. Mussman with the basketball towards the baseline against Rule. She banks and misses. Rule grabs the rebound for Brush. Rule dribbling out of traffic. Rule in the backcourt spinning and fouled. Fouled by Griffith. Oh, they're not going to say that's intentional, are they? Griffith commits the foul. Let's see what that call is. I think I saw the intentional. Nick Beltran, did they put up the intentional there? Yep, didn't go for the ball. It's an intentional foul. 2 free throws for Maddie Rule. Griffith with her third. That could do it right here. Maddie Rule is definitely Brush's player of the game. And the free throw is up and in. Off the back of the rim, took a high bounce. Brush 57, Fort Morgan 53. I'm just glad this game's more than likely not going to be decided by a point. She missed the second free throw, and Brush has the ball, because that would be a topic of discussion if it was decided by a point, knowing that there was a scoring error. Unless I made an error here, but I don't see how that happened. Not based on the progression of the game. 19.3 to go. Along the side in the backcourt, Maddie Rule to throw it in. Rule over to Thomas. Thomas maintains the dribble, and she's fouled. Aurora Thomas to the line with 15.3 seconds to go. The foul was committed by Kelsey Shaver, and she becomes the third Fort Morgan Mustang, joining Hallie Shaver and Haley Lewis to foul out of the game. She fouls out with a single point. Here's Aurora Thomas to shoot 2. And the free throw is up and perfect. B-Diggers extend the lead to 5. Second free throw for the senior is up. And off the back of the rim, rebound to Kerr. She tried to put it back up, but she was fouled. And I don't know why she tried to put it back up, to be honest with you. They don't need to shoot up by 5. Foul committed by Maddie Griffith, her 4th. Maddie Kerr's free throw is good. Oh, she's back on track. She missed 2 moments ago, but now the B-Diggers have this game in control, 59-53. She makes this, it's essentially over, and it is. 60-53. They're not going to be able to score down 3 possessions with only 13 seconds to go. Here is Griffith across the timeline, dribbling high right, puts up a 15-footer, in and out, and the rebound to Molly Lincoln. There's no whistle. Yeah, there's got to be a whistle there. I mean, she was hit pretty hard from behind there, and Molly Lincoln is fouled. That's her 6th rebound of the game. And the foul is Abby Mussman's 2nd. 4.5 seconds to go. Molly Link has been outstanding for the Stripe in this quarter, hitting 4 out of 4. Now the B-Diggers will beat Fort Morgan for the 15th consecutive time. Free throw's perfect. Yeah, it was down to a 1-point game. The B-Diggers are on a 7-0 run. This free throw's up and perfect. 6 out of 6 for Molly Link. 62-53. Here's Griffith with 2 seconds to go. Bauman with a long 3, and that's short. And that does it. Boy, it was exciting right before Haley Lewis fouled out. What a run, a 21-4 run by Fort Morgan. Actually, I believe it was a 24-4 run. It got to 54-53. Yeah, it was 50-29. And what a comeback, but the B-Diggers win the game by the score of 62-53. Let's take a 3-minute break. We'll have a couple of 3-minute breaks here momentarily, but 1 3-minute break. Lady Mustangs fall to the Lady Bead Diggers 62-53 on B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back in Fort Morgan. And what a game we had between the Lady Bead Diggers and Lady Mustangs. It looked like a blowout. It was 50-29. Then Fort Morgan went on a 24-4 run. But the Bead Diggers closed the game on an 8-0 run to win 62-53. As the Mustang post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. Morgan Community College. The Bead Diggers led 17-6 after 1, 29-21 at the break, 48-29 after 3, and then scored the first 2 points of the fourth quarter before Fort Morgan took over for the majority of that quarter. Visiting Bead Diggers at 19 points from Maddie Rule, 9 in the game from Maddie Kerr. Molly Link with 8. 9 points as well for Aurora Thomas, 6 for Kendall Elliott, 4 for Allie Keller. And as for the Bead Diggers, they had 26 points from Haley Lewis. What a game she had in the fourth quarter especially. 11 of her 26 to basically engineer that Fort Morgan rally. 8 for Abby Mussman, 8 as well for Hallie Shaver. 5 points for Lauren Keller, the freshman, did a nice job off the bench. Maddie Griffith with 3, 2 for Kelsey Callis, and Kelsey Shaver with a free throw. The Mustangs had 23 rebounds to Brush's 19. Fort Morgan had 6 from Mussman. The Bead Diggers had 7 from Maddie Rule. The turnover situation pretty even. The Mustangs with 16, the Bead Diggers with 15. Now the free throw line, that was something else. The Bead Diggers at one point were getting a little bit nervous. But in the second half, after going 2 out of 3 from the line in the opening half, I mean, the numbers are incredible for the Bead Diggers. They went 22 out of 29, 24 out of 32 in the game. So they shot 75% from the stripe. And that's what really hurt Fort Morgan. They were 3 out of 9 in the first half, and in the second half made 11 free throws, but they also missed 11 out of 18. Let me see, I'm recalculating. Yep, 11 out of 18. So they were 14 out of 27 from the line, just over 50%. That really was one of the big differences in the game, where the Bead Diggers made 8 more free throws. They attempted just 2 more, and they won by 9. But Fort Morgan had a huge fourth quarter there, 24-14, scoring 24 the first 20 points. With a victory, the Bead Diggers improved to 6-1. They're done in the month of December, as are the Mustangs, who fall to 2-5 on the season.